Hello dear students and welcome to EduTap guys. Guys, we are back with another session for RBI Grade B. And guys, this is going to be a marathon session and you are in for a lot of questions today. So guys, I hope the preparations will help you in your actual exam. So guys, if I'm audible to everyone and if I'm visible, just type yes in the chat box. Hello Prathamesh, how are you? So guys, this is a marathon session for RBI Grade B. And guys, if you can hear me and if the session is live, just type yes. All right. Hello, good evening, Arnab. Hello, Jay Prakash. Hello, Vivek. Hello, Arti. How are you? So, guys, for those of you who have just joined, so I hope your preparations are going well. All right. So, guys, just like the session if you are ready for your preparation and share it as well if you want anyone else to watch it or if you want anyone else to join in. All right, good job. Chalo guys, let's begin. So this is for RBI Grade B. This is for phase 1 and we are discussing the English sessions now. English section now. Hello Sakshi, how are you? Guys, what I have generally noticed is basically you can divide your RBI phase 1 paper for English section. You can divide this section into two different categories. Basically, overall, there are many type of questions that may be thrown at you, but what I have understood is your, the segregation of your of the questions. So on the basis of the types of questions that we see here in this RBI phase 1, so you can segregate all the questions into two verticals, one which is based on comprehension and the other which is based on your grammar and logic. And we can say vocabulary can be the third vertical, but vocabulary is basically discussed in both the sections. It is used in comprehension as well, and it is also used in grammar and logical questions based on grammar and logic as well. So under comprehension, you can you can see that there'll be three questions that will be thrown at you or that can be thrown at you. First is reading comprehension, wherein they'll be giving you a passage and they'll be giving you questions on the basis of the passage. So reading comprehension questions. Second is your cloze test, guys. Now cloze test is you'll be given a paragraph with blanks and you'll have to fill in the blanks with the right word given in the choices. And third word is your rearrangement of sentences, or what you can call it is parajumbles as well. So guys, these are the three questions which are basically based on comprehension ability of the student, right guys? And the other type of questions which we can, miscellaneous questions, which are basically based on grammar and logic. Now in these questions you can see different type of questions. One very common is error detection. Well, you'll be given a sentence and it may have error in it and you'll have to find the error, or there is another version where you'll have to find the correct sentence or correct part of the correct sentence. What do I mean by correct part? You may be given one sentence and it may have three erroneous parts and you may have to find the correct part, or you may be given 5 sentences and you'll have to find which sentence out of them is the correct sentence. So that is very common type of questions. Then there are double fillers. What do I mean by double fillers? There'll be a sentence given to you and there'll be two blanks in that one sentence, and you'll have to choose out of the options that which two words would correctly fit in those double fillers, or there are sometimes two sentences and which have two blanks each. So you'll have to find which pair of options is, I mean, fits correctly in all the four blanks. So that's one very common type of question. Then match the column. Then there is a question where you have to, where you will be given two columns, column A and column B, or column 1 or column 2, and you'll have to match the sentences from column 1 to column 2. So there are these type of questions which are being given to you in the second vertical. So guys, this vertical is quite huge, because what I have usually seen in the previous years, reading comprehension is usually for, it usually holds 10 questions. Close test at least 5 or 10 questions, and reading comprehension at least 5 questions. So guys, if you have 30 questions for phase 1, and if out of 30 questions you get 10 questions for comprehension, let's say 5 for close test and 5 for rearrangement, that means 20 out of 30 questions may fall in this one section which we call comprehension section. And it also varies sometimes they do not give you a rearrangement. What they can do is they can throw 10 to 15 questions based on this section as well. So guys, you'll have to understand that the weightage of vertical 1 could be 15 to 20 questions out of 30, 15 to 20 questions, and weightage of the vertical 2, which is based on your grammar and logic, it may hold 10 to 15 questions. So guys, we'll have to prepare accordingly, and we'll take up both the verticals. So today we are going to take up vertical number 2, that is questions based on your grammar and logic. And tomorrow there's another marathon session. Tomorrow we'll take up section 1, which is comprehension, wherein we'll discuss reading comprehension, close test, and rearrangement. But guys, although this vertical 1, it holds a lot of questions, but there is a catch as well. This section is basically time consuming. You need to understand, guys. You have to spend a lot of time to read the passage and then comprehend it and then find your answers. Then it takes time to read the close test, and it takes time to rearrange the sentences. So it is also scoring, but at the same time it is also time consuming. Section number 2, on the other hand, it is not time consuming, but at the same time you have to be accurate. So the catch in section 2 is you have to have accuracy, because unless you are sure of your answer, you'll definitely make a mistake and you'll waste your time. So guys, that's the catch in both these sections that we basically have to look into for preparing this section, guys. Hello Sakshi, hello Praveen, hello Sakshi Goyal, hello Priya. So guys, let's begin with section number 2. Today we'll be taking up questions based on grammar, reading ability or reading logic, we can call it reading ability, based on your logic. So we'll be taking up section 2 today. And there are a few things that we are going to learn today, guys. And the best way to solve this section or questions which are based under this section, and there is something which we call elimination method. So guys, today we need to understand what do we mean by elimination method. So guys, in these questions you will be given 5 choices, and you'll have to choose the right out of them. So if you try to find the correct answer, you need to control your elimination. So if for a question you are given 5 options, right? So out of these 5 options, you have to choose which is the apt one. So to be very sure, you need to master the elimination method, guys. So in elimination method, basically what happens, you look at the question, and rather than finding the correct answer straight away, start with elimination. There can be many factors on which you can eliminate your options. One is based on grammar, which is very common, that grammatically that option was wrong. Second, based on logic. sir, logically it did not match the other, the sequence of the question or the structure of the question logic. And you can also eliminate on the basis of your understanding or aptness, right? Aptness and understanding that it may happen, it may seem to you that, sir, out of these five options, there were two or three which were very close, so we could not understand which was the apt answer there. So aptness is very important to to eliminate your options, right, guys? So guys, today we'll be discussing all the questions that had been thrown at the students in the previous years. So starting from 2015, I have compiled questions from 2015, 17, 18, and these 3-4 years we have compiled a lot of questions based on that, and we'll be discussing the type of questions and how to find their answers within the time limit. So guys, are you ready? Shall we begin the session? So guys, if you give me a go, then we'll begin the session with questions given to you in different exams in different years. So shall we start, guys? And whosoever has not liked the session, now that's not fair, yaar. We are trying so hard. We are giving everything we have to support you. At least the least you can do is like the session and share the session, guys. Right? All right, guys. So it looks like everyone is ready. All right, all right. Let's go with the roller coaster ride. Absolutely. Don't rush into it. Today, our focus is not on time. Today, our focus is on accuracy. So we should be accurate with your answers, and everybody has to participate, guys. There are 90 students who are watching these sessions, and I want each and every one of you to participate. Even if you give a wrong answer, it would not matter, right? It would at least give you the right the right element to look into, that this is my weak zone, this is my weak spot, or this is my weak area, and I need to focus on such type of questions, right? Speed and accuracy, absolutely. Accurate bullet dash. All right, so let's go, guys. So we'll start with the questions that were given to you in the 2015 in the paper of year 2015, and let's start with the questions, and let's see. So guys, directions, it is very careful, be very careful to read the directions, because the questions sometimes are very tricky. So please read the directions of the questions very carefully before you start answering the question. All right. So let's begin with question number 1, and don't answer ahead, guys. Let's all answer together. So first question was to read the sentence and find out whether there is any grammatical error in it. The error, if any, will be in one part of the sentence. Select the part with the error as your answer. If there is no error, select no error as your answer. Ignore the errors of punctuation, if any. So guys, question number 91. Birthmarks on the back could be signs of spinal cord syndrome, which is also called TCS, a neurological disorder caused by tissue attachments. Bombay? कहाँ से आ रहा है यार? All right. Yes, guys. So birthmarks on the back could be signs of spinal cord syndrome, a neurological disorder caused by tissue attachments. Yes, guys. Most of you are saying B. Yes, guys. What is the error in B part? Could you elaborate? Would be a sign, Surbi, that's what you say. But guys, do remember he's talking about birthmarks, not birthmark. As a subject, birthmark is plural. So birthmarks, if he had said birthmark, then we could have looked at sign. But birthmarks on the back could be signs of spinal cord syndrome. No, when we are talking about possibility, Puneet, we do not use can, we use could. Shanta, that's what I say. Science is perfect here. There's nothing wrong with science, because he's talking about birthmarks. No, it cannot be can be or might be. Ashi, it has to be could be. Guys, if you are not sure about your answers, please be very, very careful while going through these questions. Guys, in this question, there is no error. Birthmarks, look at it, section wise. Birthmarks on the back. Okay, any marks on our back, they could be signs of spinal cord syndrome, which is a neurological disorder caused by tissue attachments. So one tissue attaching with other. So there was no error in this, guys. Could be the signs. No, Nisha, science is perfectly all right. Because we're talking about birthmarks. Then we would have to add future. We cannot, change the sentence. We cannot add anything to the sentence. We just have to find the error, the erroneous part. So guys, if there is anything erroneous in the sentence, you'll have to find that. You cannot do this. That's what if we do, a birthmark on the back could be signs. You cannot change the sentence at any point of time. So difference between finding the error and correcting the sentence. Please do understand that, guys. You cannot change anything in the sentence to make it correct. You just have to find the error in it. Isn't it birthmark? I think future it is birthmarks. So birthmarks on the back could be signs of spinal cord syndrome, a neurological disorder caused by tissue attachments. See guys, so you have to be very, very sure with your answer that what you are looking at. And if you're not sure, don't try it out. Because guys, there's something else that I wanted to share with you, the cutoff of this paper. So guys, in 2017, the cutoff for English section was 7.5 marks out of 30. In 2018, it was 6.75 marks. And in 2019, it was 7.5 marks. So guys, why do you think that this cutoff is so low in English? The reason being, students make a lot of silly mistakes. So please be very careful while attempting your questions. You have to be accurate, otherwise negative marking will cost you a lot. So let's look at question number 92 now, guys. As a part of the new survey, if you say you are unhappy, the city police may call to ask you that reason. Yes, guys. I think now this was an easy one, right? So as part of the new survey, if you say you are unhappy, the police may call to ask you that reason. Not that reason, may ask you to call the reason, because he has not mentioned any reason, as in there is no reason given in the sentence. So you cannot use demonstrative pronoun that here. So as a part of the new survey, if you say you are unhappy, the city police may call to ask you not that reason, may call to ask you the reason, that reason for you to be unhappy. So that is incorrect here. It should be the correct option here was option number D, guys. Very well done, guys. Good job. See, that's how you need to be very, very critical with your analyzing, right? Very well done, guys. Very well done, everybody. Kudos to you here. Now this is what I expect out of you guys. Correct answers. Very well done. Let's move to the next question, guys. Question number 93, and don't answer ahead, guys. Let me read out the question first and then you may answer. So we are only discussing question number 93 now. Don't answer for 94. So question number 93, by keeping the brain engaged, anyone can learn to control immediate cravings. Yes, guys, by keeping the brain engaged, anyone can learn to control immediate cravings. What do you want me to explain, Shanta? Call to ask. Yeah, so the police may call to ask that reason or the reason. So he is given a conditional sentence, Shanta, that if you say you are unhappy or you are not satisfied, They may call to ask you, they may call you to ask, or they may call to ask you. Both are correct, Shanta. Now there is nothing wrong there. By keeping the brain engaged, anyone can learn to control immediate cravings. Anyone can learn to become. Anyone can learn to become control immediate cravings. No, guys. The correct answer is option number C. And the incorrect part is become. By keeping the brain engaged, anyone can learn to. Become is not required here. So by keeping the brain engaged, anyone can learn to control immediate cravings. So by keeping the brain engaged, anyone can learn, not become, learn. Anyone can learn to control immediate cravings. Become is, yes, it is redundant here. So it was not required. So we found the correct option is option number C. Let's go to question number 94. Foodies have realized that there is more to eating out than Switch restaurant that has predictable menus and sterile decors. पागल सर बोल रहा है ऋतिक मुझे। यार मैं पागल कहाँ से लगा यार? मुझे बोल रहे हो किसी और को बोल रहे हो? इस ऋतिक मुझे पागल बोल रहे हो आप? अरे स्पैम भी कर रहे हैं साथ साथ यार। थैंक यू यार इतना अच्छा कॉम्प्लीमेंट देने के लिए। आई रियली लाइक योर कॉम्प्लीमेंट यार ऋतिक, थैंक यू सो मच। Guys, now the error here is always remember that whenever you use a verb after to, so to make it an infinitive, we use first form of verb. For example, I want to go or I want to going. So there is not more to eating, there is more to eat. There is more to eat out than switch restaurant. So basically foodies have realized that there is more to eat out than switch restaurant that has predictable menus and sterile decors. So to is not usually followed by ing form of verb, it is followed by first form of verb that makes it an infinitive. There is more to understanding or there is more to understand in this concept. हम समझा नहीं रहे नितिक, क्या नहीं समझा रहे हम ये तो बताइए. What do you want me to explain? The grammar to you? So guys, so the correct option should have been the foodies have realized, the foodies mean people who eat, who love to eat food. So foodies have realized that there is more to eat out than switch restaurant that has predictable menus and sterile decors. So to is not usually followed by ing form of verb, it is followed by first form of verb. The correct option is option number B here, guys. Ritik, stop spamming यार. अबे ये सस्ती चीजें अच्छी नहीं होती ऋतिक. ठीक है, अभी आराम से बैठो थोड़ी देर. इफ यू आर, no, I know यार, don't worry. I'm trying to explain everything. Do you want me to explain every sentence in Hindi? Now I can explain every sentence in Hindi here, but the point is I'll not be there in the exam, Ritik. Getting it? So you'll have to put in your efforts to understand such things and to remember. I'm good, Vivek. Don't worry, I won't block anyone. So that's his choice. All right, guys, moving on to the next question. Question number 95. The doctors are being worried that the ace cricketer will suffer from a heart ailment for the rest of his life. Yes, guys. Yes, guys, what's the error in this part? The doctors are being worried. are worried or have been worried? Being cannot be used here. Being is used in passive form, Pushpanjali. Verb been, that's grammatically wrong, future dreamer. Been not required. The doctors, very well done. So, thank you so much for the kind words, guys. So, guys, either it could be the doctors have been worried or the doctors are worried. But have been, that would make it a indirect sentence, or let's say a passive sentence, which would require a point of time, because that would be perfect continuous. So he has been working in this company for 6 years. So time, time frame is a must in perfect continuous sentences. So we'll not keep it in the doctors have been worried. The doctors are worried. Been is redundant here. The doctors are worried that the ace cricketer will suffer from a heart ailment for the rest of his life. So the correct option here was option number A, guys. For the rest of the life. No, for the rest of his life. Shanta, why the life? Very well done, guys. So guys, tell me your score out of these 5 questions. How many did you get correct? How many did you get right? And how many did you get wrong? Out of these 5 questions. Yes, guys. 25 minutes, Mega. For 30 questions, you are given 25 minutes. वेरी गुड डिम्पी, 5 out of 5. बी ऑनेस्ट गाइस. कौन बनेगा करोड़पति नहीं खेल रहे, तो कोई प्राइज नहीं मिलने वाला. फॉर द हार्ट नहीं होगा सर, फॉर द हार्ट. No, from the heart ailment, the would make it specific, YT man. From, he has not mentioned which ailment, but a heart ailment means a disease of heart. So the doctors are worried that the ace cricketer will suffer from not the heart disease, from a heart disease for the rest of his life. They're worried about that. So he's not mentioned any specific disease, so it would be a heart ailment, not the. Jayaprakash 2, work hard. 3, okay, not bad. Praveen 4, good. Sumit 4, very good. Vivek, future. Sakshi 3, okay. Siddharth 4, 3, 3, 3, 2. All right, 3 correct, 3, all right, 4. Very good. 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 1 wrong. Very well done, guys. Good job. Most of you have scored 3 or 4. So this is what we need to, what we need to assess, that okay, do we really feel confident with the grammatical structure of the questions? Do we have control over the the basics of your grammar? So guys, it's quite important, because usually grammatical errors are always given in this paper, although it was not there in 2019. But before that, in 2018, 17, 15, grammatical errors were always thrown at the students. All right. This is shallow. This is exactly the questions that were given in the previous year paper. So you can understand the level of difficulty from these questions. Got it? Not yet confident. So go through the concepts, Sakshi. Go through the the basics of grammar, and that would be really, really helpful for your preparation. Right, guys. So these were the 5 questions that I found based on grammar in 2015. Rest 25 questions were, 10 questions were for reading comprehension, 10 were for close test, and 5 for reading comprehension. So we'll take that part tomorrow from 2015 paper. There were only 5 questions for error in 2015. Let's look at the paper in 2017, guys. Now this was a very tricky paper, and that's where students went crazy about the level of questions given and the type of questions. So do look at the type of questions given to you, and uh, do look at the level of questions as well. Yes, guys. So let's begin. These were the questions that were given in the RBI phase 1 in 2017. Okay, so let's read the directions first. In the given questions, 4 statements are given in the options. One idiom or phrase is used in all of the statements. Pick up the statement in which the idiom phrase has been used correctly. If the usage is incorrect in all the statements, then option E, that is none is correct, is your answer. So guys, he has used one idiom or one phrase in all of the sentences, and we have to find in which of these sentences the idiom or phrase has been used aptly, correctly, right? So let's read the questions, guys. Sakshi, that's what you need to understand. There will be definitely reading comprehension, cloze test, and rearrangement in the paper. Rest of the questions we are just looking at the type of questions he may throw at you. So this is the paper which was given in 2017. So let's read the sentences, guys. Maya did not prepare the lesson and kept on grasping at straws when the teacher asked her a question. Second sentence, the detective is grasping at straws because though surprisingly enough, there is practically no evidence at the crime scene. Option number C, grasping at straws is an activity which is most liked by children at play school. And sentence number D, when the boat toppled over, David used the row in order to grasp at straws and save himself from drowning. Yes, guys, which of these is the correct answer? So first of all, you should know what the meaning of grasping at straws mean, right? So basically, to grasp at straws, it basically means, guys, a desperate attempt. You know, that's what we call grasping at straws. A desperate attempt to do something in which you may or may not succeed, but you give everything to to achieve something. That is what we call grasp at straws. So Maya did not prepare the lesson and kept on grasping at straws. A desperate attempt when the teacher asked her a question. No. The detective is grasping at straws because, though surprisingly enough, there is practically no evidence at the crime scene. So he's trying very hard. Very good. He's trying to find out each and everything because there is no evidence at the crime scene. So he's giving it a desperate attempt. Grasping at straws is an activity which is most liked by the children. No, I don't think so. That's correct. And when the boat toppled over, David used the raw in order to grasp at straw. This is literal meaning, to hold the grass, right? To save himself from drowning. So I think the correct option is option B, guys. Nirupama, what did you say? There are so many comments. I did not read what you said. I know it is confusing, but you have to go through. Yes, Dilip, it would be helpful for the students who are preparing for ATC. English is used in all of the questions, guys. So to struggle with something, to give, to take, or to give a desperate attempt, right? All right, so no, Nirupama. Grasping at straws means to to take a desperate attempt. To try each and everything. To try each and everything to achieve something. That's called to grasp at straws. Sakshi, to where to cover idioms? You can find many online. You can just Google them. List of important idioms, and we have also provided the list in our course as well, Sakshi. Now, option C, there is no desperate attempt. Option A, there is no desperate attempt. Maya did not prepare the lesson, so she kept on grasping at straws. So it was not a desperate attempt. She did not prepare. That means she was not ready. But grasping at straws means to give it a desperate attempt. To give everything that you have. That's what grasping at straws means. Word Power Made Easy, that's also a good book to start, right? And it can't be D because that's a literal meaning, Saraswati. That he was, when his boat toppled over, he was grasping at straws. So that's a literal meaning of the word, to hold the grass at the, at the bank of the river. So that's a literal meaning of the word, but grasping at straws basically means to give a desperate attempt, to be very, very, to give it a to give everything that you have. That is what we call to grasp at straws. Let's look at that, Karthik. Best source to learn English grammar. Chandan, Narveer sir is the best source to learn English grammar. And I'm just kidding here. Whichever you feel comfortable with, that's the best source, guys. Let's look at next question, guys. Now again, he has given one idiom, and he has given the idiom in all the 4 sentences, and let's see which has been used correctly. So the idiom is to leave someone holding the baby, right? So the question is, Aryan is quite untrustworthy. He leaves you holding the baby while you assume that he has gone to fetch medicines. Second sentence, exhausted from the hectic schedule, Rohan left early from the office, leaving me holding the baby. I think this is somewhere misprinted. Rohan left early from the office, leaving me holding the baby. Okay. Pooja left me holding the baby as she had to accomplish some urgent task at her workplace. And last sentence is, when the customer started complaining about the deterioration of the quality of the product, my senior vanished and left me holding the baby. Yes, guys. So to leave someone holding the baby. What does it mean? Very good, Karthik. To leave someone to face the consequences. So to leave someone with a task that he has to manage on his own, and you do not have to worry about him. That means to leave someone holding the baby. It's a literal meaning that if there are 2 persons and if one leaves another holding the baby, then the one who is holding the baby has to do everything. He has to bear the consequences. So to leave someone to face the consequences. That's what, very good. To leave onus on others. That's what, literal meaning is, Revan. Very well done. So I think the correct option here was option number D. So Aryan is quite untrustworthy. He leaves you holding the baby while you assume he has gone to fetch medicines. No. Exhausted from the hectic schedule, Rohan left early from the office, leaving me holding the baby. That means leaving me with the work. But Pooja left me holding the baby as she had to accomplish some urgent task. No. But when the customer started complaining about the deterioration of the quality of the product, my senior vanished and left me holding the baby. That my senior left, and I was the one who had to face the consequences. So it should be D. Sandeep, you can just search on Telegram, EduTap, and you will see the Telegram channel and you can join it. Why not B? Because Rohan left early because of his hectic schedule, exhausted from his hectic schedule. So he left me holding the baby. Here it shows that he left me with the work, but not the consequence. That's the difference. What do you mean by consequence? To leave someone to face the music, to leave the onus on someone else, to put the onus on others. That means to leave someone holding the baby. That means to, to leave, to put all the burden or the consequences on someone else. The blame is put on someone else. That's what we call leave someone holding the baby. Got it? That's why I said it's not B, because B, it means he left me with the work. But to leave someone with all the consequences, that's different, right? All right, guys, moving on to question number 178. Another question based on idioms. Let's read it and let's try to solve it, guys. So the idiom is to play it by ear, right? I think that would be enough. FTW, what, WTF? Yes, it's blame, not blame game. Let's say if, for example, I'll give an example. We usually face the situation when we were kids. We were playing, when we used to play together cricket, and when somebody, hit the ball in someone's window pane and he broke it. So everyone ran off. The only guy who was standing, who's left standing, is basically left with the baby. He has to face the, the harsh words of the owner of that house, right? That's called leaving someone holding the baby. Got it, everyone? No, grasp at straws is डूबते को तिनके का सहारा. Yes, that's Hindi of that. That means a desperate attempt, right? Alright guys, question number 178. The outcome of the contest was completely unpredictable, so we decided to play it by ear. Parul is a connoisseur of Indian classical music and a fabulous singer, and she's also well rehearsed in playing it by ear. Or third is playing it by ear has become a routine of Priyansh while dealing with his clients, a habit which can land him into jail. Or at the dinner function organized at my friend's house, the orchestra played it by ear and mesmerized the whole audience. So just turn your mobile in horizontal and you'll be able to see this. So playing it by ear. So to play it by ear means to do something instantly and not planned. So basically playing it by ear basically means, guys, you do something according to the situation in front of you. You do not have any plan for something, and when you do things as you face them, that's what we call to play it by the ear, right? जैसा सुना वैसा किया, मतलब जैसा सामने वाला बिहेव कर रहा वैसे बिहेव करो, उसके लिए कोई प्लान ना करना. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड टू प्ले समथिंग बाय द ईयर. To do something according to the situation, I mean instantly, and not plan it beforehand. That's what we call to play it by the ear, right? No, just to listen after giving up. No, that's not playing it by ear. Playing it by ear means to do something according to the situation and not plan something. Yes, guys. So what should be the correct option now? No, that's Revan. That's not the correct meaning of this. Now if you know the correct meaning of the idiom, then it becomes very easy for you to mark out the answer instantaneously. Absolutely. So the correct option is option number A, guys. The outcome of the contest was completely unpredictable, so we decided to play it by ear. So it was unpredictable. We didn't know what would happen, so we decided to play it by ear. So we decided to take decisions instantly. Parul is a connoisseur of Indian classic music. That's not apt. Playing it by ear has become a routine of Priyansh while dealing with his clients, a habit which can land him into jail. That's wrong. At dinner function organized at my friend's house, the orchestra played it by ear. That's absolutely wrong. So correct option is option number A, guys. Yes, that's impromptu. Absolutely correct, guys. Well, these were questions which were based on idioms and phrases, right? All right, guys. Moving to the next question. Now, this was a different type of question. Now, wherein I told you there'll be one blank, and what he has done is he has given you a sentence and a blank, and he has asked you out of these three options which would aptly fit in this blank, right? There could be one, there could be more than one. अभी अथर्व को क्या हो गया है भाई, अब ये पगला गई है. Stop doing it, Athrav. Otherwise, I got all wrong idioms. Need to improve. Absolutely, future dreamer. Chalo guys, let's read the sentence and let's see what happens. The script allowed linguists to finally crack the code, dash out more about the ancient civilization. So in the blank, which out of these three options fits aptly? The script allowed linguists to finally crack the code, a key challenge involved in the whole process in internalizing out more about the ancient civilization, decipher the hidden meanings and get out more about the ancient civilization, or an immeasurable tool in finding out more about the ancient civilization? Yes, guys, what should be the correct answer? Guys, don't just read through it. Pay attention to it, guys. Karthik, don't spam. I've read your answer. Guys, why not A and why not B? Now, internalizing is basically means to include something. So internalizing out, that's not correct. So if we use internalizing and then we use out, that's not grammatically correct, guys. Decipher the hidden meanings and get out. Now get out more, that's not the correct phrasal verb again. So get more out of something. That would have been correct. Like get out more is means to go out more. So option 1 and option 2 can be eliminated looking at these grammatical mistakes. The correct answer is an immeasurable tool in finding out more. To find out more, that was the key. The script allowed linguists to finally crack the code, an immeasurable tool in finding out more about the ancient civilization. So the correct option is option number B, guys. Got it? Only 3 is the correct option here. So guys, that's why I told you this section is based on your logic, your grammar, and somewhat on your vocabulary as well. B is wrong because get out more is basically means to to go out more. That means to hang around. So decipher the meanings and not get out more. If it were find out more, then it would have been correct. But internalizing out or get out more, that's not grammatically correct, guys. Got it? So because guys, a key challenge involved in the whole process in internalizing is to include something, to learn something. And internalizing out, that's not a correct phrasal verb. Get out means to go out, right? That's also not correct. To find out more, that would have been correct in option number 2. But the only correct option is an immeasurable tool in finding out more about the ancient civilization. Physics wala is the best. But what physics wala? All right. Now that's what you need to learn. How to eliminate. That's what we discussed. Will getting out be correct? No, not getting out. That's also not correct. FTW, I don't know what your name is. Not linguists are the tool here. The script is the tool here. The script allowed the linguists to finally crack the code. So the script was an immeasurable tool in finding out more about the ancient civilization. Got it? Not A, because internalizing out is not a correct phrasal verb. Siddharth. Internalizing is to include something, to learn something, to inculcate something. Okay? Absolutely. Safe attempt. If you're not sure, don't try it in the actual paper. But right now, try every question, guys. That will give you a better prospect. ये क्या है सर? My name is Sai. Okay, Sai. Yes, finding out, not finding out, internalizing out and get out have very different meanings, Revan. Internalizing out, there is no phrase as that. Get out basically means to go out and explore, but finding out is to learn something, right? All right, guys. Next question. Dash running for a fifth term, which few people expect her to seek. Now, he is given a blank at the beginning of the sentence. So, Dash running for a fifth term, which few people expect her to seek. Now, the options are she brushed aside a question as to whether she would rule out the idea of running for a fifth term. She categorically chose not to answer questions on the possibility of running for a fifth term, which few people expect her to seek. Okay. And she entertained quite a few questions on her plans to participate in the election amidst the rumors that she would not be running for a fifth term, which few people expect her to seek. Okay. Yes, guys. So which out of these 3 options do you think is or are correct? Yes, guys. Use elimination method. Do understand to do remember to eliminate your options if there are any, and eliminate on the basis of something. All right, has everyone answered? The correct option here is, guys, all of these are correct. See, she brushed aside, that means avoided a question as to whether she would rule out the idea of running for a fifth term, which few people expect her to seek. That's also correct. She categorically chose not to answer questions on the possibility of running for a fifth term, which few people expect her to seek, and she entertained quite a few questions on her plans to participate in the election amidst the rumors that she would not be running for a fifth term, which few people expect her to seek. So grammatically and logically, all these openings are correct for the given statement. No, you don't have to look at the context. It has to be meaningful and grammatically correct. That is the key here, guys. So all the three options were apt here, guys. Very good, Pushpanjali. Very good, Pramathamesh. Very good, Saurabh. Very good, Prathamesh. Yes. Very good, Arnab. Very good, Saurabh. Very good. F2W, WTF, Sai. Yeah, I remember Sai. Very good, Karthik. All of these are correct. So all of these are apt openings for the given statement. So that would make a sensible opening for these statements, guys. Brush aside means avoided, Mega. She avoided a question as to whether she would rule out the idea of running for a fifth term. All right, guys, coming to the next type of question, guys. Please read it carefully. These are tricky ones. Got it? So in the given question, there is a statement with some words in bold. Some of the bold words are correctly used while some are not. Guys, please read it carefully. Some of the bold words are correctly used while some are not. Pick the words which have been used correctly. If all the bold words are relevant, then option E, all are correct, is your answer. So these there will be three words which have been given in the bold, given in bold to you. You have to find out if they have been used aptly or not. So let's read the sentence, guys. It also suspected residents to take ownership of the public facilities and secure them, noting that the facilities were procured, noting that the facilities were procured with tax revenue paid by members of the public and must be protected against vandalism. Yes, guys. Very well done. If you read them logically, carefully, it will be very easy for you to find the answer, guys. It also suspected residents. I don't think suspected is the correct word here. It also emphasized residents, or it also, I think it should be something, it also pushed residents to take ownership of the public facilities and secure them, noting that the facilities were procured with tax revenue paid by members of the public and must be protected against vandalism. So I think option 2 is correct. Option 3 is also correct. So correct option is both 2 and 3. The correct option is option number D, guys. Very well done. Option A was wrong here. Do you have any important appointment, Karthik? This is a marathon session. As long as we finish all the questions, the session will go on. All right. Very well done, guys. Look at the next question, guys. Again, same question. We have to read and read the bold words and see if they were correct or not. Raising the issue during the 0 hour, Tharoor said such attacks on those who expressed sycophancy destroyed the idea of pluralism and violated the exaggerated rules of the Constitution of freedom of speech and expression. Yes, guys. Procured is to acquire. So to acquire something means to procure, athrav. Alright. Yes, guys. Raising the issue during the 0 hour, Tharu said such attacks on those who express sycophancy. What is sycophancy? A habit of pleasing others. Pluralism basically means coexistence of many religions, many sects, many ideologies in the same area. That's pluralism. Belief or faith, that's called secularism, right? Simple words. And exaggerated when something is said by giving it a lot more importance than it requires. That's exaggerate. Bada chadha ke bolna. Yes, guys, which is correct. Sycophancy, I just told you, Arnab, a habit of pleasing someone. To speak in a manner to please someone. That's he's a sycophant. To get benefit, to speak politely, to speak as if to butter someone up or to to get your motive done. So guys, I think sycophancy is not the right word here. Who expressed destroyed the idea of pluralism. That's correct, and violated the not exaggerated rules. I mean, fundamental rules should have been there. So raising the issue during the 0 hour, Tharu said such attacks on those who expressed probably who expressed let's say discourtesy, or I don't know, but I think only two is correct here. Yes, guys, so correct option here is only option number A, not B. Only A is correct here, guys. Yes. jargon of Mr. Tharoor, absolutely. Vandalism is शालू जब हम किसी जगह को खराब कर देते हैं, पब्लिक एरिया को, देखा कई लोग वहां पे पेंट से कुछ पिक्चर बना देते हैं या कुछ नाम लिख देते हैं या पोस्टर चिपका देते हैं, दीवार गंदी कर देते हैं, खराब कर देते हैं, कुछ भी लिख जाते हैं उसके ऊपर, वो वेंडलिज्म होता है, किसी चीज को खराब कर देना. ठीक है. Kim Jong Rocket Man, do you want me to provide vocabulary and idioms? That's a big PDF, Kim Jong. You can find it in our course if you want to. Otherwise, they are also available online, right? All right, guys. Moving on to the next question. Let's read it together and let's see how many of us gets it correct. The party therefore ostracized with students of the various schools destroyed by the hoodlums, their parents and the community for losing what, even though was the responsibility of the state government, but was however facilitated by a senator as his constituency projects. Yes, guys. Now, this is a tricky one. Be very careful. I know this is a tricky one. Ostracize basically meaning to expel someone from a community or to avoid speaking to someone. That is ostracize. Basically, तड़ी पार कर देना किसी को. तड़ी पार in the sense, sorry, किसी को अपनी community से निकाल देना. That's called ostracized. Guys, first incorrect was ostracized can never be paired with, with. So the party therefore ostracized the students. That would have been good, but ostracized with the students of various schools destroyed by hoodlums. Now that is absolutely wrong. We never use with ostracized, so that is incorrect. So I think it should be empathized with the students of the various schools destroyed by the hoodlums. So hoodlums are goons, vandals, who who vandalized the place, destroyed by the hoodlums, their parents and the community for losing what, even though was the responsibility of the state government, but was however facilitated by a senator as his constituency projects. Yes, so I think option 2 and option 3 are correct here, looking at the statement and the information. So correct option should be option number D, guys. The correct option is option number D. Hoodlum means बुरे जो एलिमेंट्स होते हैं सोसाइटी में, दोज आर कॉल्ड हुडलम्स। आफत जो मचा देते हैं, वैंडल्स, उनको बोलते हैं हुडलम्स। आई नो this was a tricky one, but that's what you need to understand, guys. If there is a tricky one and you're not sure about it, you can leave it for later on. You don't have to attempt each and every question in the exam, right? So be smart with your attempts, guys. All right, let's look at question number 184. Matthews, who started his harangue claiming the Supreme Court through the election for George W. Bush, laid out his case for why Democrats should obstruct any nominee President Trump names. So Matthews, who started his harangue claiming the Supreme Court through the election for George W. Bush, laid out his case for why Democrats should obstruct any nominee President Trump names. What is a harangue? Harangue is to say something very, very loudly, to openly say something. That's called harangue. So Matthews, who started his harangue claiming the Supreme Court through the election for George W. Bush. That means he said the Supreme Court gave the election to, no, through the election means basically they gave it to George W. Bush. That means unfairly they made George W. Bush the president. Laid out his case for why Democrats should obstruct any nominee President Trump names. Now, laid out is absolutely correct. Why is it wrong, Sachin? Guys, all the options are correct here. So Matthews, who started his harangue claiming the Supreme Court through the election for George W. Bush, laid out his case for why Democrats should obstruct any nominee President Trump names, because Supreme Court has through the election for George W. Bush, so he does not favor any nominee or any candidate the President Trump names, so that should be obstructed. So correct option is, all the options are correct here, guys. Next question, guys. Let's look at another question of the similar taste. It is difficult to connect this historical event with the accost of Saint John of Nepomuc, who was canonized by the Church of Rome in 1729, mainly by the influence of Jesuits, who hoped that this new cult would emoliate the memory of Hus. Okay. Memory of not Hus. A memory of his होना चाहिए, I think यहाँ पे. I think this is misprinted. So it is difficult to connect this historical event with the accost of Saint John of Nepomuc, who was canonized by the Church of Rome in 1729, mainly by the influence of Jesuits, who hoped that this new cult would emoliate the memory of his. Yes, guys. Accost is basically a maneuver or a way to speak to someone, without their will. That's called accost. Canonized is baptized. Basically, when somebody is, when the Rome canonize someone, that means they basically, they give someone who has died the honor of being a priest. That's called canonizing. And emollient is not a verb, it is an adjective, which means to soften, to soft something, to ease the effect of something. That's called emollient. Because it is difficult to connect this historical event with the, not accost, it should be account of Saint John of Nepomuc, who was canonized. So one, I don't think that one was correct. So it should be with the account of Saint John of Nepomuc, who was canonized, is correct by the Church of Rome in 1729, mainly by the influence of Jesuits, who hoped that this new cult would emoliate the memory of his. Now, emollient is not a verb, guys. It is an adjective. So guys, option number 3 is also wrong. So only option 2 is correct here. Any option? Yes. So correct option is option number B, guys. Very well done here. So I hope you are counting your scores. So keep a count of your scores, guys, so that you can see that this is the attempt that we could make if we are preparing well. All right. No issues here. We always learn from our mistakes, guys. So don't worry about your mistakes. Learn from them so that you can see that this is what I need to work upon and this is I'm comfortable with. So do learn from your mistakes. They're very, very helpful to give you a better account of your progress, right? All right, guys, moving on to the next question. Now, this was a different type of question. Now, in this question, in the following questions, let's read the direction, guys. In the given question, 2 sentences with 2 blanks in each are given. Each question is followed by 5 options with 2 words in each. Select that option as the answer which can fill both the blanks of both the sentences 1 and 2. Guys, there are 2 sentences given to you with 2 blanks each. So we have to choose the pair from the options which can be used in both the sentences aptly. So guys, this is where elimination will help you out a lot. Yes, guys. So let's read the questions. Opposition forces have constantly rebelled and tried to kill the dash leader, and he has dashed them. Second sentence is he was probably the first dash Western person to suggest that Soviet regime had failed to dash religion within its domain. All right, guys. So let's read the options now. Opposition forces have constantly rebelled and tried to kill the coward leader, and he has acquaints them. Cantankerous leader and catechise them. Rapacious leader and resuscitate them. Prominent leader and obliterate them. Humongous leader and abscond them. Yes, guys, what should be the correct option here? Because if you eliminate, please look at the options very, very carefully, guys. Yes, guys. Coward leader, cantankerous leader, rapacious leader, prominent leader. Yeah, humongous. Humongous is too big. Cantankerous and rapacious are very bad. Coward, I think coward basically means, let me be sure. Coward means play boisterously. I mean, in a carefree manner. So I think the correct option in both the sentences is I think it's a prominent leader and prominent Western person, and he has tried to obliterate them and had failed to obliterate region. So I think correct option is yes, guys. Obliterate basically means reduce to nothingness. That means to finish off. So that's obliteration. So I think option D is correct. That is a prominent leader tried to kill the prominent leader and he has tried to obliterate them. He has tried to finish them. And Soviet regime has failed to obliterate religion within its domains. So finish. Sachin, obliterate religion means to finish. He is the first prominent Western person to suggest that Soviet regime had failed to obliterate religion within its domains. Means within the area of Soviet, they have not been able to finish off religion from its domains. That means to end religion from its domain. They have not been able to do that. Absolutely. All right, guys. So correct option was option number D, guys. All right, coming to next question. It is the dash of efficiency and distributive justice of economy on which the new dash base themselves. Okay. The key success factors include the dash between the information and the individual's dash. Okay. It is the dearth of efficiency, cogent of efficiency, congruity of efficiency, cleave of efficiency, yeah, diminution of efficiency, and distributive justice of economy on which the new despotism base themselves, debauchery, perspectives, uh, parlance, yeah, methodology. Yes, guys. I think you have found the correct option from looking at option number 2. That's what I did. Individuals' perspectives, yeah, new perspectives base themselves. Yes, the correct option is option number C, guys. It is the congruity of efficiency and distributive justice of economy on which the new perspectives base themselves, and the key success factors include the congruity between the information and the individual's perspectives. The correct option is yes, absolutely. Perspectives made it easy. So that's what we call elimination method, guys. If you use elimination method, that this cannot be used here in any sense, you can eliminate the wrong options there, guys. Let's look at next question, guys. To say that these 3 introductions were dash to the future of the army would hardly be a or an dash. Okay, and he could not, of course, undo the dash reforms of his predecessor, but he amended them in such a way as to counteract what he considered the dash of liberalism. All right. To say that these 3 introductions were monumental to the future of the army would be hardly been exaggeration. Okay. Were debunk, were espouse, were expunge, were hegemony. Yes, guys. What should be the correct option here? Doomsday of liberation, doomsday fallacies, no. Emulation, no. Heterogeneous, no. Yes, guys. So if you eliminate option, looking at blank number A and blank number B, not C, its correct option is option number A, guys. To say that these 3 introductions were monumental to the future of the army would hardly be an exaggeration, and he could not, of course, undo the monumental reforms of his predecessors, but he amended them in such a way as to counteract what he considered the exaggeration of liberalism. Undo the debunk of reforms, espouse of reforms, expunge of reforms, these are wrong. Hegemony of reforms, but heterogeneous is wrong again. The correct option is option number A. You cannot use debunk. Undo the debunk and undo are wrong. Debunk the espouse, that's also wrong. Debunk, undo the expunge, these are wrong, grammatically wrong in option number 2, in sentence number 2. So the left out was A and E, and heterogeneous cannot be used in the second blank of option number B. So that's what leaves me with option number A. Got it? All right. All right. Let's look at the next question, guys. Now, these are another type of questions that you must look at. Select the phrase or connector from the given 3 options, which can be used to form a single sentence from the 2 sentences given below, implying the same meaning as expressed in the statement sentences. So basically, guys, there are 2 sentences given. One is this, and the second is this, and you have to use either of these 3 conjunctions or connectors, to start and connect both the sentences so that the meaning remains the same. So first option is she had left and because this became a difficult task as dash, however, or the period between dash and but. So she had left and her publishers in Philadelphia and had retired from business many years ago because it was eventually discovered that her residence is at Wilmington, Delaware, and copies of the second. This became a difficult task as her publishers in Philadelphia had retired from business many years ago. However, it was eventually discovered that her residence is at Wilmington, Delaware, and copies of the second were found there. this sentence is, I don't think it is complete here. I think there is some part missing from this sentence, right? What do you say, guys? And the copies of the second book, I think it was something like this, were recovered from there. So I'll write down the complete sentence for you guys. That's what I remember. Her publishers in Philadelphia had retired from business many years ago. It was eventually discovered that her residence is at Wilmington, Delaware, and copies of the second book were recovered from there. The period between her publishers in Philadelphia, but yes, guys, what do you think is the apt answer for this? Because whenever he tries to give a contradiction, it was not a reason, her publishers. So this became a difficult task as her publishers in Philadelphia had retired from business many years ago. However, it was eventually discovered that her residence is at Wilmington, Delaware, and copies of the second book were recovered from there. So I think correct option is only option 2 is correct here, guys. So both no. Only 2 is the correct option here, or correct option is option number B, guys. The period between her publishers in Philadelphia. No, that's wrong. She had left and her publishers in Philadelphia had retired from business many years ago. Because is wrong here. So in first option, because is wrong. In the second option, in the third option, the period between is wrong. So correct option is only option number 2. However is used for contradiction here. Very well done, guys. Now these are some questions that they look very scary, but they are quite easy if you practice enough, guys. All right, guys. Let's go to the next question. I had caught glimpses of broad green fields, a luminous sky, trees and flowers. The darkness that followed could not wholly blot it out. Okay. Now let's look at the three connectors, guys. Hardly enough, hardly enough. I had caught glimpses of broad green fields, a luminous sky, trees and flowers. But at any point, the darkness that followed could not wholly blot it out. Okay. Although my academic career, all through my academic career, I had caught glimpses of broad green fields, luminous sky, trees and flowers. Since the darkness that followed could not wholly blot it out, during the first 19 months of my life, I had caught glimpses of broad green fields, a luminous sky, trees and flowers, which the darkness that followed could not wholly blot it out. Yes, guys, which do you think is the correct option here? Yes, guys, quickly read it out, and everybody has to give me his or her answer, guys. And just give me a minute, guys. I'll be back. Yes, guys. So I think hardly enough is wrong, because if a sentence begins with hardly, now it has to be, there is inversion rule. So the sentence should have been hardly had I caught glimpses of broad green lights, hardly enough. No, I don't think option 1 is correct here. All through my academic career. Now, in second option, first part was correct, but since this does not match here, all through my academic career, I had caught glimpses of this. Since the darkness, no. I think during the first 19 months of my life, I had caught glimpses of broad this, which the darkness that followed could not wholly blot it out. Yes, guys. What should be the correct option here? Option number 2 or option number 3, or both? Absolutely, rule of inversion is wrong here. So I'll have to eliminate option number 1. So only option 3 is correct here, guys. Very well done. The correct option is option number C. During the first 19 months of my life, I had caught glimpses of broad green fields, a luminous sky, trees and flowers, which the darkness that followed could not wholly blot it out. It cannot be correct, Sachin. Hardly enough had I made. So if a sentence begins with a negative word, there has to be inversion rule. Got it? Alright guys, let's go to question number 191. He regulated the administration of justice, encouraged commerce, reformed the coinage. As time went on, he was compelled to demand larger subsidies and to take severer measures against heretical opinions. So he redressed many grievances. But as time went on, he was compelled to demand larger. No. What should be the answer here, guys? Even when he regulated the administration of justice, encouraged commerce and reformed the coinage. So as the time went on, he was compelled to demand, okay, although he regulated the administration of justice, yet as time went on, he was compelled to demand larger subsidies and to take severer measures against heretical opinions. Yes, guys. Grievances, but as the time went on, he was compelled to demand larger subsidies. Yes, guys, what should be the correct option here? Basically, it is a contradictory statement, guys, that he regulated the administration of justice, encouraged commerce, and reformed the coinage. As the time went on, he was compelled to demand larger subsidies and to take severer measures against heretical opinions. So it's a contradictory statement, guys. So I think not only B is incorrect here, even when he regulated the administration, so as the time went on. So this is not a continuation of sentences, this is a contradiction. So he redressed many grievances, but as the time went on, he was compelled to demand larger subsidies. So this is correct. And although he regulated the administration of this, yet as the time went on, he was compelled to demand. So option 1 and option 3 are correct. Yes, so both 1 and 3 are correct. The correct option is option number D, guys. So correct option here was option number D, because it was a contradictory statement. Read the statement very carefully, guys. Is there a contradiction? Is there a follow through, or is there any consequence? So use your connectors very carefully, guys. So you should have a good command over your conjunctions. Got it, guys? All right, moving to the next type of questions, guys. Now in this was a bit trickier. Now let's read the directions, guys. Given below are 5 statements, out of which only one is grammatically correct. Identify the correct statement. So guys, there are 5 statements wherein there is some or the other error, and you have to find the grammatically correct sentence. So please be careful. You don't have to find incorrect sentence. You have to find the grammatically correct sentence, and basically that's where elimination method kicks in. Whichever sentence you find one grammatical error, eliminate that, and the one which is left out of errors, that would be your answer. Got it? So let's read and let's try to solve it, guys. That plan also sets a deadline of 2020 for a substantially increase in the number of countries with national and local strategies for disaster risk reduction. Future dreamer, I have provided some sessions on conjunctions on our YouTube channel. You can watch that, or you can take better help for this. Conjunctions are quite important. Hardly, barely, rarely, no sooner, merely, right? Then there is inversion rule. Then there is sync rule that you have to follow in either or, neither nor, and not only but also. So lest is followed by should. There are many rules that have to be kept in mind, right? All right, guys. Very well done, guys. So let's read these sentences and let's find out the grammatically correct sentence. So in sentence 1, that plan also sets a deadline for deadline of 2020 for a substantial increase or for a substantial increase. I think this is wrong here. It should be for a substantial increase in the number of countries. Let's read sentence number B. After the partition of 1947 and the transfer of a very large Bengali Muslim district of Sylhet to East Pakistan, the Assamese middle class came to power for the first time in about a century. All right. I could not find any grammatical error in this. Let's read it. Question number 3. The database we have compiled show that Muslims are dramatically underrepresented in the Indian police services. I think I found the grammatical error here. The database we have compiled, not show, it should be shows. So here it should be substantial. Here it should be shows. So the database we have compiled shows that Muslims are dramatically underrepresented in the Indian police services. D. He recognized after the Japan game that he needed to make some changes to his lineup and they made them. He recognized after the Japan game that he needed to make some changes to his lineup and they made them. Yes, guys. And in an admirable change of stance, the government has lobbed the ball back to the court where it once belongs. Where it once belongs or where it once belonged? Where it once belonged. It should be belonged, not belongs. So now the choice is between B and D. He recognized after the Japan game that he needed to make some changes to his lineup, and I think not he made them, and he made it. Not they made them, and he made them. So I think the grammatically correct sentence here is option number B, guys. How one is correct? Shalu, which question are you talking about? Very good, Ravi. Still a mistake, Sakshi. I know. That's what we are here to practice. Got it? So got it, everyone? Very well done. So correct option is option number B, guys. All right. So you know what to do now. In the next question, I'll not help you. Now you'll have to do it on your own, and then I'll give you the answer, right? All right. So these are the 5 sentences in front of you. Look at them, read them, find out the erroneous sentence or find out the erroneous sentences, and then come up with an answer, guys. Take your time. No, very large is not superfluous, Amit. It's absolutely correct. Very good, Arnab. Very good, Sakshi. Good job, guys. So let's keep up the good work and let's build up our basics. Yes, guys, let's read the questions. Faced with massive public outcry and criticism in the media, the government of Punjab has announced a series of measures to tackle the drug menace. Okay. All right. Option number B, overcrowding as well as related problems such as lacking of privacy can also cause or exacerbated mental health problems and increase rates of violence, self-harm and suicide. Overcrowding as well as related problems such as not lacking of privacy, I think it should be lack of privacy, can also cause exacerbated mental health problems and increase. I think or should be eliminated from here. See, more than anything, it is the human cost of disasters that is the more compelling argument for action. All right. India is home to the largest population of malnourished and hunger-stricken people and children, leading to high infant and maternal mortal. I think I've found my mistakes now. Near the examination centers, there are no construction work, no traffic noise, and the cops enforce street calm. So I think, guys, let's see what your answer is. All right. Has everybody finished? I think I've found my answer. And option number B, overcrowding as well as related problems such as not lacking of privacy, such as lack of privacy. More than anything, it is the human cost of disasters that is More compelling argument, not for action, more compelling argument of action. More than anything, it is the human cost of disasters. That is the more compelling argument of action. Yes, India is home to the largest population of malnourished and hunger-stricken people and children, leading to the high infant and maternal, not mortal, mortality. And near the examination center, there is no construction work. There should be no construction work, no traffic noise, and the cops enforce. There is, I think, not there are no. There is no construction work. There are no traffic noise, and the cops enforce street calm. So the correct option, no. It should not be most compelling, Smriti, because it should not be most, because here it is given more than anything. That means it is comparison. So for comparison, we do not use most. It is the human cost of disasters. That is the more compelling argument of action. So correct option is here is option number A, guys. Most नहीं होगा, more बिल्कुल ठीक है पुष्पांजलि वहां पे. Reason being more than anything, that is comparison. So for comparison, we do not use most, we use more. नहीं, ये कोई जरूरी नहीं है पुष्पांजलि. द के बाद सिर्फ सुपरलेटिव आता है. द के बाद कंपैरेटिव भी आता है. अगर आप दो की बात कर रहे हो, जैसे ये सुना है, द हायर यू गो द कोल्डर इट इज. द हायर यू गो द कोल्डर इट गेट्स. सुना है ये चीज. या आउट ऑफ द टू प्लेयर्स विच इज द बेटर, विच इज द बेटर वन. सुना है ये. तो ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं है कि हाँ ये जरूर रूल है सुपरलेटिव से पहले द जरूर आता है, लेकिन ये रूल नहीं है कि द के बाद सिर्फ सुपरलेटिव आता है. ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं. आप उल्टा कर रहे हो रूल को शायद. No, that's not superlative, Nishant. That's comparative. More than anything. That means individually it's comparative. More than any other person. मतलब किसी भी दूसरे इंसान से ज़्यादा. That does not mean superlative. Got it? Series of measure or series of measures. कहाँ पे दिया हुआ है? Series of measures ही दिया हुआ है. सीरीज होगा तो मेजर्स ही होगा यार. मेजर की सीरीज तो नहीं हो सकती. अनुष्का इन हैंड सैलरी. अच्छा, सैलरी कैसे बताऊं मैं आपको कितनी होती है अनुष्का यार. ये तो आप गूगल कर सकते हो यार. In hand salary, it may vary from place to place, but you can find out the in hand salary of a RBI officer. I don't know that, Anushka, actually. I'm sorry to say that. 70,000 Pushpanjali Malik has said. Okay, that may be true, but I'm not sure about it. Okay. All right, guys, let's look at the next question. Read the 5 sentences and find out the grammatically correct sentence, guys. Go for it. Cost of disaster. Yes, that's correct, future dreamer. So let's read the next question, guys. As a metaphor for the future of British's economy, the boy wizard created by J.K. Rowling and the cues for the Hogwarts Express are apt. Okay. All right. As a metaphor for the future of the British's economy. Okay. Right. Let's read the second sentence. With the Gmail redesign, scammers could send out fake versions of confidential email alerts and trick a user to entering sensitive details. Okay. There are plenty of stands that can hold and charge your gamepad controllers, but I find them to be an eyesore. Okay. Not only it consumed precious time of the upper house, but so led to the inordinate delay in clearing 5 key amendments in the legislations. For starters, the company expects to generation enough cash flow this year to cover its dividend and fund all its growth focused spending. Yes, guys, which is the correct answer? So let's find out there, guys. In first, the future of not British's economy, British economy. As a metaphor for the future of British economy, the boy wizard created by J.K. Rowling and the cues for the Hogwarts Express are apt. Second, with the Gmail redesign, scammers could send out fake versions of confidential email alerts and trick a user into, not to trick a user into entering sensitive details. They trick a user to enter. Either it should be to enter or into entering. So this is where it gets wrong. Or option number C, I couldn't find any mistake. Or option number D, not only it consumed precious time of the upper house, but also it should be not but so, it should be but also it led to. So that's the sync rule. So, do you know this, guys? Whichever part of speech is used after not only, a similar part of speech has to be used after but also. So not only did it consume precious time of the upper house, but also it led to inordinate delay. So either it should be it not only consumed precious time of the upper house, but also led to inordinate delay. So there is obviously more than one error in this. For starters, the company expects to company expects to generate. Today I told you that to is followed by first form of verb, not ing form or any other form. So I think the correct answer here is option number C, guys. Right? There are plenty of stands that can hold and charge your gamepad controllers, but I find them to be an eyesore. Okay, they are very ugly to look at. Got it? All right, guys. And another question from the paper 2017. Okay, let's read the 5 sentences and let's find out the correct answer, guys. This research method called ECOG requires major surgery, which is why it almost never happens without the voluntary participation for patients. Okay, the rise and reign of supergiant rounds are a phenomenon that emerges from a confluence of different factors. Okay, hundreds across the country called in the university and government to do more to prevent sexual assault and harassment. Okay. Take a magnifying glass to Jolly's early home life, and an emancipation will not be anything particularly out of the ordinary. He asked New Delhi to reciprocation so that the Kashmir issue could be resolved. Yes, guys. Now, he has mentioned that you have to eliminate any punctuation error. All right, Nishant? Yes, guys. So, what should be the correct option here in this question? Yes, that's what I said, Ravi. Very well done. This research method called ECOG requires major surgery, which is why it almost never happens without the voluntary participation, not for patients. It should be of patients. Voluntary participation of patients. The rise and reign of supergiant rounds are a phenomena. Option number B is also incorrect, guys. The rise and reign of supergiant rounds. The subject here is rise. The rise and reign, right? Two nouns joined by and the first noun is preceded by an article and the second is not. This means they're talking about the same thing. So the rise and reign of supergiant rounds is a phenomenon that emerges from a confluence of different factors. See, hundreds across the country called in the university and government to do more to prevent sexual assault and harassment. Take a magnifying glass to Jolly's early home life, and an emancipation will not be anything particularly out of the ordinary. Will not be anything particularly out of the ordinary. Yes, guys. Is this take a magnifying glass to Jolly's early? अच्छा, एंजेलिना जॉली की बात कर रहा है शायद वो. Take a magnifying glass to Jolly's early home life, and an emancipation will not be anything particularly out of the So it should be not an emancipation. So this is absolutely, we do not use articles before emancipation. So yes, that is wrong. And he asked New Delhi to not to reciprocation, to reciprocate. He asked Delhi to reciprocate so that the Kashmir issue could be resolved. So not earlier home life. Early home life, that means her childhood life. That's early home life. Not earlier home life, early home life, Nishant. That basically means childhood life. So I think the correct option here is, guys, option number C. Hundreds across the country called in the university and government to do more to prevent sexual assault and harassment. That is the correct answer here, guys. So guys, all these were questions that were asked in the paper of 2017. Got it, guys? So how many correct and how many incorrect, guys? And then let's go to the questions that were asked in 2018. He asked New Delhi to not reciprocation. I told you to is followed by first form of verb, guys. Remember? So whenever to is followed by a verb, it is 99.9% of the times it is followed by first form of verb. He asked New Delhi to reciprocate. Reciprocate means to give back, or to start communication so that the Kashmir issue could be resolved. So whatever initiative he has taken, he asked New Delhi to reciprocate, means to support back, right? Yes, called in means to help. Ratnadeep, call in means to call someone to help. That's called to call in. Got it? All right, guys. Let's go to questions that were asked in in paper of 2018. So guys, please increase the resolution of the video, please, if you do not understand or if you cannot read what is given in the columns. So please increase the resolution of the video, guys. So these were some questions that I found in 2018 that were quite difficult and different from the usual questions. So we should also try to solve them as well. Not were called in. What are you talking about? Hundreds across the country were called in. No, hundreds of people called in the university and the government to do more. That means, right, to hundreds means many people stood for the support. They asked for the support from the university and the government. All right. All right, so let's read the directions. In the following questions, 2 columns are given containing a connector and 3 phrases each. In the first column, the phrases are ABC, and in the second column, the phrases are DEF. You have to make meaningful sentences using the connectors in the starting and from the phrases of both the columns. There are 5 options, 4 of which display the sequence in which the phrase with the connectors can be joined to form a grammatically and contextually correct sentence. If none of the options given forms a correct sentence after combination, select none of these as your answer. But none of these is not given here. So let's look at, guys. So he has given 2 starters, guys, not only and but also. And he has given you 2 columns and you have to read. Can you connect any sentence from column A with column B? Right, guys? So give it a try, guys. Question number A is, guys, this investigation is one that is continuing and continuing worldwide. She was left behind home. Okay, and Anna Murray was the chairman of the committee formed to resolve the issue of the Braille Society. The members were compelled to acknowledge him under the influence of autocracy. I don't think ये किसी से मिल रहा है. Her father was the CEO of one of the topmost companies. Whose father? And the investigation is one that we expect to continue for quite some time. Yes, guys. Could you connect it? Not only this investigation is one that is continuing and worldwide, but also the investigation is one that we expect to continue for quite some time. So the simple rule was, guys, sync rule. I told you whichever part of speech is used with not only, after not only, a similar part of speech has to be used after but also, right? So this, there was no other word. She, there was no other pronoun. She was left behind home. Farhad, father was no, I don't think so. And C also does not connect with anyone. So A is connected with D, sorry, with F. This investigation is one that is not only this investigation is the one that is continuing and worldwide, but also the investigation is one that we expect to continue for quite some time. Yes, guys, the correct option is option number A. I think A with F follows. Smriti. Not only this investigation is one that is continuing and worldwide, but also the investigation is the one that we expect to continue for quite some time. Got it? The correct option is option number A, guys. All right, guys, let's look at the next question. Similar pattern, you have to do the same thing. So the opening, opening conjunction is hardly and when. Now read the questions and try to figure out the combination, guys. They had spoken these words. Okay. Hardly I had closed my eyes. Hardly my aunt was stubborn. Okay. And when the door opened and Arion himself stood before them. Okay. I began to imagine the most fantastic shapes. My aunt was stubborn. She was elected as the president of her company. Hardly, no. I think C cannot be connected with F. So I think, guys, I can connect A with D, right? Hardly they had spoken, or hardly had they spoken these words when the door opened and the Aryan himself stood before them. कि अभी उन्होंने बस ये कुछ शब्द बोले ही थे कि अभी दरवाजा खुला और एरियन खुद उनके सामने खड़ा दिखा उनको. और second can also be connected, B can also be connected with E. Hardly had I closed my eyes when I began to imagine the most fantastic shapes. So A can be connected with D, B can be connected with E, but C cannot be connected with F. So A, D, B, E. A, D, B, E. Yes, guys. Option number D is the correct one. Very well done, yaar. Good job. Very good. Sachin, elimination method se kiya. Very well done, yaar. The correct option is option number D, guys. All right, guys. Let's look at question number 16 and another question on the similar pattern. But the opening statement here is no sooner and the connector is than. So let's read the sentences and let's try to connect them. Okay. A lion's share has been allocated to development works. So no sooner a lion's share has been allocated to development works. No sooner she had agreed to marry him. Okay. No sooner he also demanded a comprehensive inquiry. Then she started to have terrible doubts. Okay. It is usually done by solid waste management and welfare programs. No sooner land share has been allocated to development works, then okay, and was implemented for the particular project. Yes, guys. Oh, I think the numbering here is wrong, guys. A, B, C. It works everywhere. Sakshi, elimination is a very good. No sooner. नहीं, यहाँ पे इन्वर्जन करना नहीं है पुष्पांजलि, हमें तो ये देखना है कि क्या हम इन कंजंक्शंस को यूज करके क्या हम किन्हीं दोनों सेंटेंसेस को कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं क्या. इन्वर्जन हमें यहाँ पे यूज करना नहीं है एक्चुअली में. यस गाइस, सो no sooner had she agreed to marry him, then she started to have terrible doubts. A lion's share has been allocated to development works. Then it was implemented for the particular project. I don't think so that C can be connected with E. I think I think due to the misprint, I think the correct option should be B should be connected with D, guys. That's what I feel. No sooner had she agreed to marry him, then she started to have terrible doubts कि अभी उसने उससे शादी करने के लिए वो राजी हुई ही थी कि तभी उसको अपने डिसीजन पे क्या होने लगा, शक होने लगा. So B and should be connected with D. It was not given in any options. A cannot be connected with E. And now this is misprinted somewhere, guys. So correct option should be B should be connected with D, guys. Not E with D. B can be connected with D. Yes, Pushpanjali, very good. Very good, Ashish, very good. Good job, guys. So I think now you know how to connect these columns. It is very easy. You just need to understand the follow through of the sentences. Got it? All right, guys. Moving on to the next question, guys. Now these are tricky ones, so please be very, very careful. Now in this, again, they have given two blanks in one sentence, and you have to choose which pair would be perfect for this particular blank. Yes, guys. So let's read the question and let's try to sort them out. The move to allow dumping of mercury dash an outcry from residents of the area who dash that high levels of mercury will affect their health and destroy ecologically sensitive forest area. So the move to allow dumping of mercury resulted an outcry, provoked an outcry, incited an outcry, activated an outcry, angered an outcry. Yes, guys. And outcry from the residents of the area who insisted that, who fear that, who determined that, who supported that, who believed that. Yes, guys. What should be the correct option here? Now, guys, the resulted cannot be used in first blank. Activated is wrong. Angered is wrong because resulted in should have been done. Resulted in an outcry. Activated an outcry. There's no need of for activate. Angered is not required there. So either it could be B or C. Yes, guys, I have eliminated the odd ones or the wrong ones. Now, what should it be, B or C? The move to allow dumping of mercury, yes, guys, provoked an outcry from residents of the area who fear that high levels of mercury will affect their health and destroy ecologically sensitive forest area. Or incited an outcry who determined. The correct option is option number B, guys. So it provoked an outcry from residents of the area who fear that the high levels, not who determined that, who fear that. So not C, it should be option number B, guys. Now, how can they determine that high levels of mercury will affect their health and destroy? Determining is finding out, and will affect is assumption. So it should be not C, it should be B. So provoked an outcry from the residents of the area who fear that high levels of mercury will affect their health. Absolutely, residents cannot determine, and will is assumption. So who fear that something will happen in the future. So that is the correct option here, guys. Got it? Next question, guys. Similar pattern. One sentence, two blanks. Let's read it out, guys. The court had directed the Directorate of Education to dash that all schools that had been allotted land on the condition that they would dash 25% of EWS student, economic weaker section students, fill the allotted seats. So the court had directed the Directorate of Education to certify, to confirmed, to ensure, to ensured, or none of these. Now guys, ensured cannot be there, confirmed cannot be there because we have read to is followed by first form of verb. So the court had directed the Directorate of Education to certify and ensure that all schools that had been allotted land on the condition that they would admitted or they would admit, or none of these. Yes, guys, what should be the correct option here? Now, admitted is wrong. They would admitted. That's wrong. So correct option is Option number C. The court had directed the Directorate of Education to ensure that all schools that had been allotted land on the condition that they would admit 25% of the economic weaker section students fill the allotted seats. Admit hoga absolutely. So correct option is option number C, guys. Fear is किसी चीज का डर होना good luck. कि मैं डरते हम किसी चीज से, that we fear that amendment of farm laws will will result in elimination of MSPs or APMCs in the country, right? So we fear that we fear that amendment of these laws, or let's say implementation of these laws will result. We fear is basically we fear something for the future. That's how we use fear, right? All right, guys, let's go to question number 24. Same pattern, read the sentence and then find out the blanks. When building plans of these malls and hospitals are sanctioned, the parking area is not taken into account. While they show parking dash as common areas, they get dash space for parking and claim that the facility would be provided free of cost. Okay, so when building plans of these malls and hospitals are sanctioned, the parking area is not taken into account. While they show parking spaces, parking area, parking portion, parking segment as common areas, they get additional space. They get necessary space, they get more space, they get extra space for parking and claim that the facility would be provided free of cost. Yes, guys, what should be the answer here? Parking portion. That they get necessary is, I think, wrong here. They get extra space. That is not apt here. I think it could be A or C. So parking spaces as common areas, they get additional space, or parking portion as common areas, they get more space. There's no parking portion. Portion is that something you cut out from the whole. So I think the correct option here is option number A, guys. Because common areas, that's what he has mentioned. So spaces, parking spaces as common areas. So if it was portion, it would be common area. So the correct option is option number A, guys. So we can eliminate C, Supriya, by saying that portion is singular. If we had a portion, parking portion, then it would be common area, not areas. But spaces can be considered into areas, different spaces of parking. That means different areas of common, common areas. Option is option number A, guys. Spaces, parking spaces as common areas, and they get additional space for parking and claim that the facility would be provided free of cost. Got it, guys? All right, another question on the same pattern. If a junior executive neglects his professional development and dash education, he can easily and quickly become obsolete in the world changing at dash rates. Yes, guys. If a junior executive neglects his professional development and higher education, management education, better education, administrative education, yeah, continuing education, he can easily and quickly become obsolete in a world changing at a vulnerable rates, supreme rates, leading rates, or dizzying rates. Supreme rates, that's absolutely wrong. So I can eliminate option B and C. Become obsolete in a world changing at leading rates, that's also wrong. So either it could be A or E. So guys, do try to eliminate your options. And higher education, your continuing education. Junior executive, he's a working professional, guys. So higher education is when you are a student. So if a junior executive neglects his professional development and continuing education, he can easily and quickly become obsolete in a world changing at a dizzying. Dizzying is something which is very मतलब जिससे चक्कर आ जाए, जिसको सुन के तो dizzying is disease, feeling dizzy, चक्कर खा जाने वाले. So it should not be A, it should be E, because it's not vulnerable. Vulnerable is something which is open to danger. So not vulnerable rates, it should be dizzying rates. So option E is apt here, guys. Absolutely. So it cannot be vulnerable rates. It has to be dizzying rates. So correct option is not A, guys. Correct option is E. Very good, Nikita. Very good, Sakshi. Very good. Good luck. Very good, Sakshi again. Very good, Dilip. Very good, Megha. Very good again. Very well done. Good job, guys. All right. Very good, Vineet. Very good, Saman. So guys, these type of questions are usually thrown at you in the exam. So please be very careful while learning elimination method. Got it? Continuing education. Yes, education is not just what you learn in your school or college, Supriya. You educate yourself every day. You learn something new. Education does not only means, it is not only restricted to your college or school life. You learn throughout your life. Dizzying means जिनको देख के चक्कर आ जाए. प्रवीण, जिसको सुन के चक्कर आ जाए, इतनी तेज बढ़ रही है दुनिया. Alright guys, coming to the next question. Now this was a simple finding the error in the sentence. So in the given question, a sentence is divided into 4 parts. There are errors in 3 parts. Now guys, listen to this carefully. There are errors in 3 parts. Choose the part which does not have an error. If all the 4 parts are correct, mark E. All are correct as the answer. So you have to find the correct part in the sentence. The roof besides them had a great hole smashed through it, and pieces of glass was lying scattered on every direction. Yes, guys. So you have to find the grammatically correct part in this, not grammatically wrong part. Grammatically correct part has to be found in this. The roof besides them. Besides means along with. The roof along with them. The roof above them. The roof above them had a great hole smashed through it, and pieces of glass were lying scattered not on every direction, in every direction. So I can find error in A, C and D. So the correct option is, guys, option number B. So guys, you have to be quite apt, and you have to be adept with your grammar, guys, because a lot of questions are usually asked based on your grammar, and if you answer them correctly, you'll be able to crack your paper. Yes, you can expect Sunny in mid of April. So you can expect NABARD Grade B, NABARD Grade A in mid of April. That's what we are expecting, Sunny. Got it? So correct option is option number B, right? Right. Let's look at the next question, guys. Again, a question was divided into 4 parts, and we had to find the correct part. The sentence was, the Supreme Court has done 3 weeks to the state government to be respondent to its directive and file an affidavit citing all the detail. Yes, guys, the Supreme Court has done 3 weeks to the state government to be responded to its directive and file an affidavit citing all the detail. The Supreme Court has not done. The Supreme Court has given, right? Given 3 weeks or provided 3 weeks to the state government, not to be respondent, to respond to its directive and file an affidavit citing all the details. So I think the correct part is again part number B. So we had to find the part which had no error in it. Right, guys? Be very careful, be very specific in finding mistakes. Praveen, what was the error in B part? Alright, guys. Very good, guys. Although all of you who have answered B, very good job. Let's look at question number 28, guys. Again, the same pattern. You have to find the part which is free from error. So let's read the question, guys. Surely she must feel bitter on the fact and yet neither her voice or her expression gave any indication that she felt antipathetic. Surely she must feel bitter on the fact uh, that yet neither her voice or her expression gave any indication. Expression gave any indication that she felt antipathetic or she felt pathetic. Surely she must feel bitter not on the fact, she must feel bitter about the fact. So she must feel bitter not on the fact, she must feel bitter about the fact that yet neither her voice nor her expression gave any indication that she felt antipathetic. So the correct option is option number C, guys. Very well done. Surely she must feel bitter or she must have felt bitter about that fact, and yet neither her voice, she must have felt. That is also wrong, guys. She must have felt. She must have felt bitter about the fact, about that fact, and yet neither her voice nor her expression gave any indication that she felt antipathetic. It should be pathetic. So the correct option here is option number C, guys. Right? All right, guys. Let's go. Let's move on to next question. Same pattern. Let's read the question and find out the error, guys. Aside by his solemn expression, there were nothing in the way he acted with the children that might indicate anything was wrong with them. Aside from his solemn expression, there were nothing in the way he acted with the children that might indicate anything was wrong among them. Yes, guys. I have found the correct answer. Aside from his solemn expression, there was nothing in the way he acted with the children that might indicate anything was wrong among them. Yeah, anything was wrong with them. So aside from his solemn expression, there was nothing in the way he acted with the children that might indicate anything was wrong with them. So thank you, Abhik, Vishwas. Thank you so much for the kind words here. I hope you succeed in every endeavor that you undertake, and I wish you all the very best in life here, to all of you here. So I think again, correct option here was option number C. Aside from his solemn expression, there was nothing in the way he acted with the children that might indicate anything was wrong with them. Very well done, guys. And guys, last question for this session, last question for today. And tomorrow we will take up reading comprehension, cloze test, and rearrangement, guys. But let's be done with these type of questions. So the question was, the number of acres destroyed by wildfires has increased dramatically over the past several years. Yes, guys. Very good, Karthik. Thank you, Satendra. I hope these will be impactful and these sessions are useful for you. That's why we conduct them for you guys, so that you can benefit and score well in your exams. So the number of acres destroyed by wildfires has increased dramatically over the past several years. So I couldn't find any grammatical mistake in this sentence. The number of acres has increased. That's absolutely correct. Destroyed by wildfires. That's also correct. Over the past few years, that's absolutely correct. So the correct answer here was all are correct here, guys. Arey Abhik, that's good, yaar. I hope you all of you who appeared for SEBI were able to finish your English paper on time with the time strategy that we discussed and the type of drafting skills that were required. Thank you so much, guys, for the kind words. 2019 paper, Karthik, I had already discussed a few days back. You can find the session on our YouTube channel. Just search for it. I had discussed the whole paper for 2019, and 20 paper is not available, Karthik, up till now. So we discussed for the 2019 paper thoroughly in a session which was taken by me a couple of weeks back. And in this session, we are taking all the previous year questions for 19, 18, 17, and 15. Not wildfire. Wildfires is perfectly all right. Kim Jong, Rocket Man. Wildfires can be called because at different areas there can be different wildfires. So different wildfires can be called different wildfires. Tomorrow, same time, 3:30, Varsha. Kim Jong, that's perfectly all right here. PDF will be provided in the Telegram channel, Revan. Thank you, Karthik. So guys, I hope you've understood that level of question, the type of questions that are being thrown at you. PDF will be given in the Telegram, Revan. Don't spam here. PDF will be provided in the Telegram channel of EduTap. So just join that and you'll find the PDF. Right, guys. So now you understood the level of questions. He tries to surprise the students with different type of questions every year. In 2015, there were a lot of comprehension questions. In 2017, there were a lot of grammar-based questions. And in 2018, there was a balance. So you can see in 2019 also, there was a balance. 15 questions were based on grammar and comprehension. Grammar and logic and vocabulary. Rest 15 questions were for comprehension. So tomorrow we will take up comprehension, reading comprehension, cloze test, and rearrangement, and we'll see how to tackle those questions during the exam and how to score well in those questions. So guys, how did you find the session? Was it useful? देखो कितने अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स हैं ना मेरे, जब तक पढ़ रहे थे जैसे ही सेशन खत्म होने पे आया बिना कुछ सुने ही छोड़ के भाग गए हैं. मतलब मुफ्त खोरी की इतनी आदत हो चुकी है ना यार, कि मतलब फ्री में मिल रहा है उसका क्या ही वैल्यू है उसकी, है ना. I feel that sometimes. But guys, how did you find the session? Please do let me know. And if you like the session, please do click on the like button. Do share it in the groups that you may feel like. And guys, if you have any doubts, you can contact us on this number 8146207241, or you can also drop us an email hello@edutap.co.in, and this is our website if you wish to avail any of your courses, guys. Thank you, Kim Jong. Thank you, Revan. Thank you, Shalu. Thank you, Preet. Thank you, Dilip. Thank you, Supriya. Thank you, Pushpanjali. Thank you, Dimpy. Thank you, Karthik. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you, Preet. Thank you. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you, Revan, Ashi, Pushpanjali, Praveen. Guys, if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask any doubts if you have, and we'll conduct a session. Again, tomorrow there will be another marathon session at 3:30 tomorrow, and wherein we will discuss reading comprehension, cloze test, and rearrangement, which were thrown at the students in the previous year exams. Right. Thank you, Praveen. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Ankit. Thank you, Shalu. So guys, I hope you learned a lot that what type of questions are given to you. Kal honge Pushpanjali. Tomorrow we will take up reading comprehension, cloze test, and rearrangement. So all these three parts will be taken up tomorrow, right? All right, guys. So that's it for this session. I hope this was useful, and I hope this will give you a better insight into your preparation strategy, what you need to work upon and what needs to be taken care of. Looking at the cutoff and the level of questions, you need to be very careful with your strategy, guys, right? No, Revan, NABARD has different type of questions, but yes, English will remain the same. There will be different type of questions in NABARD. There will be different type of questions in RBI, different in SEBI, and different in IBPS. So there are different type of questions in different exams. But you can understand everything if you have good control over reading ability and your grammatical skills, राइट। 2 दिन के बाद एग्जाम है अब तो, दैट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू, डोंट यू थिंक? गुड लक। Yes, I will share some very important tricks tomorrow, Ashi, to crack RC, rearrangement, and close test. Got it, guys? So do not forget to tune in 3:30 p.m. tomorrow, and you are in for a treat. Okay, so you'll find a lot of informative things in the session tomorrow. So guys, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for being so patient, so calm, and I hope and I wish all of you all the very best and happy learning to all of you guys. Take care. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.